everyone. We were giving everybody a chance to hop on and log on. We are so excited for today. Can y'all hear me? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Oh, wow. I should have got a screenshot of that. Somebody grab a screenshot of that. Everybody give me, Danielle, can you get a screenshot? Am I yelling? Does it sound really loud? Danielle, everybody thumbs up. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I love it. If this is your first time joining us, my name is Emmett and this is Gianina.
Hey guys.
We are a husband and wife team. And we like to refer to ourselves as a power couple. I know that's a little ambitious, but I believe if you speak it into existence, it will happen. And so today we were scheduled to have Natalie Nobby with us, but we want to pray for her. And she is feeling some of the secondary illnesses associated with the dreaded virus. And we want to wish her well. She said she could not make it today, and she is so sorry for you guys. But luckily, I live with a powerhouse Emerald. And so she is going to fill in for Natalie today. And I have to build up this big intro because I normally do these big intros. So she has been a stay-at-home mom for 7 years. She has been with the company for 7 years. She ranked Emerald last year and has been holding steady. And she leads worship at her local church. She's a wonderful wife. And without further ado, you're about to see me stand up and see me in my lounge shorts because I didn't put pants on. Here is Gianina Slone and everybody, y'all.
Said amen.
Yeah, amen. Hey, just real quick, I want to lead us in prayer, okay? God, we come to you today. We thank you for these wonderful men and women that have joined us today. And we thank you for the opportunity to have this business and be successful. We ask your blessings over Natalie today. Just reach out and touch her, and so she will get over this. We also pray for anyone else affected with this horrible virus, Lord God. We know that you're the ultimate physician and you are in control. And God, we just want to say that you're awesome this morning. And just I hope everyone, you touch this meeting, everyone gets something from it. And when it's all these things in your son's name, amen. And so you guys are in for a treat. Everybody shut your eyes for like 3 seconds because I'm about to dart off in my UT Martin loungewear.
At least he has pants on and not underwear, right? All right, let me get situated here. Hey, guys. So for those of you guys who don't know me, Emmett did give me an introduction, but my name is Gianina, and I am super excited that I get to do this with you guys, do this call, because as he mentioned, I wasn't like planning on it or super prepared this morning, but I think it's meant to be because end of month is literally my favorite time of the month. It's like a holiday for me. Just the hustle and bustle of it all, the excitement of the last 3 days. I truly believe that it is Magic Week and so much can happen the last couple of days of the month. And so I am really excited to be sharing with you guys specifically the last 2 days of the month. All right, so the first thing that I wanted to do, since we have so many people on here that I don't know and that probably have never heard of me before, is share a little bit of my story with you guys, because I hope that it inspires somebody and I hope that it makes you guys believe that anything is possible for you too. So as Emmett mentioned, I've been with the company for 7 years. I joined July 31st, so last day of the month in July. And at the time, I was in a previous marriage, and we were struggling so bad financially. And it wasn't one of those things, you know, when you think of someone struggling financially, they don't go out to eat and they might not have money for extra things. And they're like, oh man, I'm just struggling to make it week to week. And for us, it went way beyond that. It was like going to food pantries and water getting shut off. I was sharing a phone with my husband at the time. I was also sharing a car with him. I lived at the apartment complex that I worked at, or else I don't even think I would have had gas to go to work a lot of the times. I had just gotten off of unpaid maternity leave. And so, you know, any of you guys know if you've taken 6 weeks with no pay, that affects you. It's hard to get caught back up. And so as a new mom, that was really difficult because, you know, we want to feel like we can provide the basic needs for our kids. Like if you can't feed your child or you can't buy diapers and baby wipes, it just cuts you so deeply because those are like basic everyday necessities. And for me, I was nursing, thank goodness. So it wasn't like, okay, well, I can't buy formula or anything like that. But at the same time, I was eating so crappy. Like I was eating ramen noodles. I was eating whatever they gave us at the food pantries, which a lot of the times didn't have a lot of nutritional value. And I'm still thankful that that was something that we could get because we needed it so desperately. But I definitely was not getting the nutrition that I needed as a nursing mom. And I knew that. And I knew that I had to change something. And literally for me, just $300 or $400 a month would have made such a massive, massive difference. It wasn't, I didn't join in order to have, $5,000 a month or in order to take trips or in order to do all these things. I literally was like, God, I just need an extra $300 or $400 a month, literally just for us to live, for us to be able to afford food, to have running water in the house and to have electricity. Like I just needed an extra $300 and I can make that stretch. And so I decided to take a chance on Plexus. I joined strictly for the business. I was like, I'm pretty healthy. I don't need the products. I was one of those that was like, I'll just exercise and eat, whatever I can, and I'll be healthy. I don't really need supplements. I didn't truly believe in supplements, but I needed the opportunity. And my sponsor at the time was making about $300 to $500 a month. And I was like, okay, I have enough faith in myself that if I work really hard, I can make $300 a month. And this is something my family needs. And I'm willing to put in the work to do this. And so I literally had to babysit behind my ex-husband's back because he did not want me doing this business. So I babysat for a friend to get some money. And I pawned a couple of things that I was like, okay, I believe that I can make some of this money back. And so I got the money miraculously in order to sign up for Plexus and started working the business. And then my first month, I made about $300. And I was like, this is the best thing ever. Like, I cannot believe I just made this money. Like, this is amazing. I can buy groceries and I can buy baby wipes because we had started making our own baby wipes because I couldn't afford to even buy that. And so I was a believer from that point on. Like at that point, I was like, this is going to change our lives for the better. And it's going to be so incredible. And it has been. After that, I went through this season where, my son was staying with babysitters. And if you guys know, if you've had a kid, you start to think about those first steps and you start to think about those first words. And it's like, I don't want to miss those things. And I literally remember telling my babysitter, I said, don't tell me if he says anything. Like, don't tell me if he takes any steps, because I want that first time I experience it to be the first time. And so I was missing out on so many of those moments, and then decided to start dreaming bigger of what if I can be a stay-at-home mom with Plexus? What if I'm able to quit my job? And at the time I had a pretty good job. I was doing leasing for an apartment complex, and I loved what I did, but I just missed those moments. And so I worked really hard, and within 11 months, I hit Ruby and decided I'm going to do this full time. After hitting Ruby consecutively for a couple months, I decided, okay, this is enough for me. I can stay home. My husband's going to work and I don't have to pay a babysitter anymore. So I was really excited about that. And I quit my job, and then everything was going relatively good. But shortly after that, so my ex-husband was really bad into addiction, and he was an alcoholic and did drugs. And I did not see a lot of what was happening the first year of our marriage because I was working so much and I was just a new mom and I was in survival mode. And, when you're like that, it's almost like you're a zombie. You're just trying to stay afloat and you're not actually seeing the bigger picture of what's going on around you. So once I started staying home and realizing what was happening and where all the money was going and how this was affecting our lives, I was able to kind of give him an ultimatum of like, okay, you're either going to go to rehab or we're done. So he went to rehab. He was in and out of jail, in and out of rehab. And when he started spiraling downwards again and getting abusive. And, my son was learning really bad behavior at that point. He was 2 years old. I decided I'm going to leave this marriage and I'm going to be a single mom. And at that point, I was a senior Ruby ambassador. And thank the Lord that he knew what I was going to need before I knew that I was going to need it, because I thought I was joining just to make a couple $100s a month, but he prepared the way for me for something so much bigger than I knew I was going to need. And so many of you might be finding yourselves in that same situation right now where, maybe you went months without working. Maybe you have to make tough decisions to stay at your job or leave your job. And I just want to encourage you guys that this business is so much bigger than you're even imagining right now. And it has an opportunity to be so much more for you than you've imagined in the past. So you are here for a reason, and you are on this call for a reason as well. So it's not an accident that you're hearing these words. And I just want to encourage you with knowing that in the last 5 years that since I left my ex-husband, I did not have to go back to work at all. I was able to be a single stay-at-home mom and raise my son. And my mom was a single mom, so I know how difficult it is being a single mom and having to work 2 or 3 jobs. And I say that because you might be somebody, how many of you guys, raise your hand, be honest, how many of you guys have a hard time reaching out about the business or posting about the business? Like you're super comfortable. Okay, that's the majority of the people. You're super comfortable with the products. You can share the products all day long, but you're hesitant with the business. I would have never in a million years as a struggling mom spent $100 on myself to try some products, even if they came straight down from heaven. I would have never done that. So I want to share with you guys to, let's see, can I turn on the closed captions? Am I able to turn on closed captions? I don't know how to do that. So when you guys don't share about the business with people, you are potentially taking away a blessing from somebody being able to stay home with their kids, somebody being able to leave a toxic situation, somebody being able to provide for their family. And so I want you guys to think about that, because it may be scary for you, but it really, truly isn't about you. If my sponsor would not have come to me about the business, I never would have joined Plexus. And the other thing is, I actually had another friend who did Plexus before, and she was a stay-at-home mom. And I remember like, gosh, I wish I could do what she does. And in my mind, I never reached out to her, even though I was interested, because I assumed that if she wanted me on her team and if she thought that this was something I could do, that she'd reach out to me. And so never like think that just because somebody is not reaching out to you about the business that they don't want it. So be bold and connect with people. I promise you, people need this business right now just as much as they need the products. And so you should be really sharing just as much about the business equally and just as much reaching out about the business as you are about the products. So definitely keep that in mind. So that's just a little bit of my story. When I went Emerald, it was definitely incredible. I'm now obviously remarried, and he has been amazing. And we were able to get him to retire from law enforcement last year, just with my Plexus income and then PinkLife as well. So you guys have been the biggest blessing for us, and we're so, so thankful for you. All right, so we're going to go in to the first thing that I wanted to talk about and kind of share with you guys. Before we get into like direct IPA, what I want all of us to do is to go over our why, and not just like a surface level why, because your why is really what's going to carry you through the tough times in your business, and it's going to help you push through those last couple of days of the month when it doesn't look like you're going to hit your goals. And so I was wondering, do I have anybody who would volunteer to share what their why is? You can unmute yourself if you want to share it. Okay, so Rita, would you like to unmute yourself?
Yes, you may have seen part of my why as I picked her up from her nap. But I have a little grandbaby. I have 2 of them. And I needed to lose weight to avoid double knee replacement surgery 4 years ago. And so my niece suggested I give Plexus a try. And I have lost 80 pounds in 4 years. been able to maintain my regular needs and chase after my grandbabies while my daughter works and my son-in-law. So my why began as a health issue and graduated into wanting to be the kind of Mimi that can take care of her grands safely and far more active. And my business could use a little boost, but my personal use of the products has been amazing. And I keep that why in front of me because it's a legacy that I want to pass on to them.
I love that. And I love how specific you got with your why, as far as you wanting to be able to take care of them safely. Like that is very specific. It wasn't just, I want to lose weight. It was, I want to lose weight because of my knee surgery. I want to lose weight because that knee surgery is going to affect things this way. And you like really dug deep. And so I want to dig a little bit deep into your why for your business. Why do you want to make this business? You're obviously on this call, which shows that you want to make an extra income. So why do you want to make an extra income?
I'm a retired teacher and my husband is retired and we have travel goals. And so originally it was to be able to travel. And then when I dig deep, it's the dream of helping provide for them and their families, and other people and their families. Yeah. And I live in South Louisiana and we're recovering from Hurricane Ida. And my husband and I have been going physically to help people. And I can do the physical work that I couldn't do 5 years ago. So, I want to reach out to people, but it's what you said that really resonated was that someone needs to benefit from the business. I've been feeling tough sharing about the products right now, but the products are what drew me in. But it's very difficult when people don't have a home to expect them to afford the products. So what you shared about the business really spoke to me about somebody needs this business. So you need to talk about the business as much or more right now, maybe for those who are hurting in our area.
Yeah, there's definitely so much potential with people needing the business right now. So I think that that's really good. Does anybody else want to share their why? All right, Kim, do you want to unmute yourself?
I am Kim. This is my first time here. I didn't even know about this call until last night at like 11 o'clock. So I got an invite and I was like, I'm stepping on. So thank you. I'm a brain tumor survivor. I've had 2 brain surgeries, gone through radiation. I live with the brain tumor up here. He's still there. I call him Ben. So my first motivation is I was given a second shot at life and I refuse to play small anymore. I really played small my whole life. I had a dad who just took care of me and did everything for me. My sister was able to do like, go, fly. And it was like, not little Kimmy. Little Kimmy had to be protected by her dad. And I let that happen. And I married somebody who did the same thing. And I loved it. And so I never stepped outside and did anything on my own. I just stayed in this little pocket of life. And then through this health journey, finding the products and realizing that the way I thought I was going to have to feel the rest of my life, wasn't true, that the products gave me my health back. And then I got, the second shot at life. And then the business aspect of it, I just, my husband said to me, he has always taken care of me. I have not provided, nothing has come from me. And he said to me, I think that your income through Plexus is going to be what we retire on and what allows us to retire. And it was in that moment where, like, I knew my why before, but that solidified it because I get chills when I think about that because no one has ever thought, including myself, that I was capable of something like that. And through the women that I've met, through the company, I believe in it now. And I believe so wholeheartedly in the products. I believe in the business model. And I know that, I can be the residual income that me and my husband retire on and live on after this. And I'm I'm driven for that why, but I'm driven also because I didn't have to be given another chance by God for this second shot at life, and I was. And this came into my lap, and I'm not going to waste it. I know He has gifted this to me, and I'm going to honor Him through this business the best that I can, and thank Him for this second shot at life.
Yes, I love that. That is so powerful. And even digging deep and thinking about all of the women who have felt the way that you feel and think that, maybe they can't contribute or they're not capable, or why would they be the ones to go out if they don't have to, And so really giving that purpose to people, like I would say, it's given you purpose so that you can give purpose to others too that maybe feel a little bit hopeless. So I absolutely love that. Okay, Heidi, I see that your hand was raised if you want to share too, and then we will move on after that.
Okay, so let's see. I'll get so there's not so much in the background. So I've been in a couple like MLMs in the past because I'm like, I've always tried to find something as far as, just residual income. And I've understood that my whole entire life, that sort of thing. And so, and I just am a natural sharer. So like, if I find something that I really like, then I'm like, of course I'm going to tell everyone about it. But my health has struggled for the last 25 years, since I was 14. And there's IBS, there's fibromyalgia, there's regular arthritis, there's, constipation, there's fatigue, chronic fatigue, mono, all those sort of things that along the line. And the last few years have just compounded to where I was just, doctors are kind of like, throw up their hands, here's an immunosuppressant, you know what I mean? That sort of thing. And I was just like, you know what, I'm like, I was giving up basically on myself too, but I knew I couldn't because I was, some of my issues were just getting so severe. And so I knew I needed help, just finding the root cause of things. And so for me, that was how, I guess the last year and a half, finding, eliminating little things and trying to find what was really wrong and trying to get to the root cause of where things were lying. I've always known about gut health. And, but sometimes, you have to hit rock bottom to be able to just try something. I was never consistent in the past with taking supplements or vitamins and that sort of thing. And, I actually learned about Plexus 6 years ago and, from a friend that I went to high school with, and she's now a diamond. And anyway, and it was funny. I didn't do anything for like a year. And, then like a few years ago, 3-4 years ago, I've been on the probiotic for about 3 years, but about 3-4 years ago, I actually got my mom on Plexus, and because she needed to lose a lot of weight before surgery. And I was like, Mom, I've been following them for a long time. I think this is your best shot. So she, over the course of about 14 months, lost 100 pounds. And you'd think by that time that I would be consistent and I would, want to try it all. Right. But I don't know, I didn't. So, but it's always been in the back of my head, and I've always been kind of praying for something. And so I finally, I needed a couple surgeries, that sort of thing. And I was able to start consistently this last July. And, anyway, and so I actually just, yesterday, the day before, I hit gold. And so fast start gold. So I know I'm so excited. So anyway, the other thing too is my husband's a firefighter paramedic. And I've also got I've got 4 kids, but 2 are diabetic. And so my husband's actually always kind of had like a second job, that sort of thing or whatever. And I always used to kind of have a job, but not for the past 5 years because my health was just getting really crummy. And so he is also a part-time police officer. And that has helped because my one diabetic kid was 12 years, but my daughter was diagnosed a year ago. So we were always been paycheck to paycheck. But now with her, it's like we now have credit card debt to be able to have to pay for supplies and that sort of thing. And so that's always kind of been my why. I've always loved the business end of it. And that's pretty much, I knew I needed it health-wise. But that's always been on the back end. I'm like, I knew I needed to do the business side of it to be able to help pay for bills. If there was anything extra, that I'm like, we couldn't just keep racking up this debt. I'm like, I needed to do something, but my health is so crummy. But now it's like feeling better and that sort of thing. So that's what's really helped. What's really helped me. And so that's my why all the way around.
I love that. And congratulations on going Fast Start Gold. That is huge.
Thank you.
And I really started getting emotional while you were sharing because I was thinking about all of us, and there are 100 people on this Zoom, and every single person on this Zoom has a story just like that. But what I want you guys to think about right now is picturing your friends and your family members on this Zoom sharing those stories and sharing what their testimonies are going to be, because that is so powerful. Like, all of you guys are here because your friend cared enough about you to be persistent and to connect with you and reach out to you. And so you wouldn't have these stories to share if those friends wouldn't have been consistently posting and reaching out. And so that is such a huge part of the why we share, why we reach out. It's not because I need to hit my goal of 369 this month, and so I'm going to reach out to people. It's like, I want my friends to be on this Zoom sharing with you guys how these products and this opportunity changed their lives. Like, that is my why, and that is what I want. So I wanted to share that with you guys and make sure and get a couple people to share, and just imagine that being your best friend and your sister and your mom sharing those things and how incredible that would be.
Could I share something really quick before you move on? Sorry. If you haven't done this before, I think it goes along so well with what you're talking about, but it's called 7 Levels Deep. And it is about your why. And so it just makes you keep digging a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper, a little bit deeper. So there is an app that is called 7 Levels Deep. And then you can also go to the number 7levelsdeep.com.
I love that. That is really good. I'm going to write that down to make sure I do that too. So one of the reasons why I wanted you guys to talk about your why is because we are going to be making a post for greens specifically. You might be like, oh, I already made a post for greens this morning. We're going to do things a little bit differently. I want you guys to think about, why are we sharing greens? Why is this something that's going to help your friends? Think about that why. So not just like, oh, we get to have a new product that you get to try and it has a lot of really awesome things in it. But why are greens specifically important right now? Does anybody have an answer to that they want to share? Why greens specifically are really important right now? Immunity, that's a good one. That's really good. Yeah. And I think just busyness, like, we're all so busy with back to school or jobs or whatever else is going on. And I know for us, we're a sports family. And so we're always on the go. And we have just not had as many nutritional meals lately as I would like to have with our kids. And I don't know, he's probably not eating his vegetables at school. And so this is a way that I get to control how many veggies he's getting a day. I get to get those veggies really, really good for immunity. Yes, my grandkids never get enough greens. So that right there, Michelle, is a post. My grandkids never get enough greens. I know the struggle. If your kids struggle with getting greens, I have something for you to watch. Okay, just something as simple as that. So I can stop wasting money on veggies that go bad in my fridge. Yes, I definitely can relate to that. Building your immunity. Those are all really, really good ones. So as we're making our greens post, I want you guys to think about, number 1, why greens are important. And number 2, what problem are you solving with this post? What problem are you solving for somebody? I was watching a video this morning, and this guy was talking about how our brains function from, like, our why is at the very center of our brains. And then it goes why, how, and what. And if you can hit somebody's why they need something, they'll figure out how to afford it, and they'll figure out how to take it and what they need to take. But first you have to hit that why, because if you just hit the what, it's not going to penetrate to their why. So for an example, say that I made a post and I just said, we have new greens. They're so awesome. It has all these veggies. It's great. You're going to be like, okay, cool. There's 5 million other companies that have grains that are awesome and taste great and whatever else. I can buy it on Amazon. But if you hit somebody's why of like, man, my kid always really struggles with getting veggies. And I know he has so many friends that hate the taste of kale and broccoli. And it has just been a struggle. And I truly want to just help him be as healthy as possible throughout this season. I want him to boost his immunity or support his immunity is what we're allowed to say, not boost his immunity. I want him to support his immunity. I want him to really have his body prepared to help fight against viruses, different things like that. That's going to hit somebody's why. They're going to be like, okay, I understand why this is important for my child to take. Let me ask what it is and let me find out how to get it. Does that make sense? So you're not just like surface level. So I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes and we are just going to make a post. If you guys want to put in the comments, once you've made the post, after this, you guys can screenshot like the chat if you want to and have people hop on and sorry, I just got a pop-up that came up. You can have people hop on and love on each other's posts and all that stuff too if you just want to screenshot who said that they're done with their post. So when you're done with the post, put it in the comments.
Burning against the sky full of rain, and with our hands up we were gunning on red hot.
Okay, looks like a lot of you guys made your posts, which is really awesome. I'm excited to check everything out. I see Marina Hopkins can't post until 1 p.m. because of Facebook jail. Oh no, that's so hard. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to spend 10 minutes going into our back office and reaching out to people that have not ordered yet this month. So it could either be people that are like at 100 PV or maybe less than 25 PV. And we are going to send them a message. I typed it up in the chat and I am sending that right now so that you guys can use that, or you can kind of create your own and use that as a model. But it just says, hey, Jessica, I wanted to make sure you didn't miss any of the info on our newest product. It's a yummy greens drink mix with lots of awesome veggies that are so great for supporting your immune system. Does your family need extra help getting all their veggies in? So short and sweet. I'm not giving them all of the details up front. I'm just telling them why it's good for them. It's supporting your immune system. And I'm offering a solution to their family not getting enough veggies. So I'm giving them the why, and I'm giving them the why it's important to them. So just something short and sweet. And as they say, hey, I'd love more information. Does everybody know what the link to the video is on YouTube for the plexus greens? If you go to YouTube and just search plexus greens, it's the first video that pops up. I'm not sure I'll be able to do it on this computer, but if somebody can put the link to that in the comments, that would be awesome, so that you guys can have that video as a resource to send out to people when they say, hey, you know what, I actually do need a little bit more information. I would send them that video and then follow up with what are some benefits that you think your family could use from greens? Like what stood out to you the most? So we're going to spend 10 minutes doing that. And if you guys have questions, you can either put it in the chat or unmute yourselves, and I'd be happy to answer those too. So Tina, there is a script right now. If you scroll up a little bit, that is a script that you can reach out to people that are in your back office that have not ordered yet for the month. Okay, so I'm actually going to move on to the next thing just so that we have enough time to get through one more thing that I thought was really important after this task. So this next task, I want you guys to at least save this script. This is going to be for people that you have talked to about Plexus before, but that have never ordered. And it just says, hey friend, just wanted to reach out and check in. I'm not sure if you've seen, but Plexus just launched a brand new greens product, and I'm hearing it's a super yummy garden berry flavor. Do you feel like you and the kiddos are getting your necessary servings of veggies each day to support your immune system? So you guys can copy that, you can tweak that and make it your own. But this is something we're just going to spend a quick 5 minutes sending this to people that we've talked to about Plexus before, but that have never purchased. So the last thing that we are going to do is we are going to write down people in our back office that we are going to be sending belief messages to. And what these belief messages are is anybody who has enrolled somebody this month, anybody who is like on target for another goal. So let's say they enrolled one person and they only need two more for the 369 incentive for their first three. Anybody who is within 20% of achieving their next rank, we are going to write those people down. Does everybody know how to get to in their back office who is on target, like to hit senior silver this month? Do you guys know how to do that? So if you go to your back office and you go into your reports, it is your rank reports. And on there, you will see if you have anybody who is a senior ambassador. That is one where it shows. And they only need one more person in order to go silver this month. So we are going to reach out to those people. And I really want to urge you guys, especially if you know them personally, to call them, not to just send them a message, or at least send them a voice message. But if you give them a call and just say, hey, Jennifer, you are only 5 people away from hitting gold. I'm so excited for you. I know that you can do this. Let's make a game plan together. Who are you reaching out to? Who are your people reaching out to? How can I help support you? Help those people hit those next goals, because even if they don't hit goals, like let's say they add 4 people instead of 5, they're still going to be so excited. You know, if you didn't call them, they might not have added any. So that's 4 more than they would have added without that extra support. So I want you guys to spend just a few minutes writing down who in your back office we are going to reach out to and give those belief calls to. And then if you need to hop off, that's no problem. But I'm going to stay on for any kind of Q&A if you guys have some questions. But I just really want to pour belief into you guys. It's the last 2 days of the month. It's super exciting. So much momentum happens the last couple of days. I know so many months where I've literally been like, oh my gosh, we've only added 10 people all month. And then the last day of the month, in one day, we double that, because there's just so much belief and excitement. So don't get discouraged. With Leaders Retreat Contest starting next month, the name of the game really is going to be enrollments the next couple of days, because you're going to get more retention credits the next couple months than if you don't have anybody, because they do carry over. So anyone that you enrolled this quarter, those retention credits are going to roll over into the next quarter. So if you have people on the fence with the $1 enrollment and with the all of the other things that are going on this month, definitely be encouraging people to enroll this month versus next month, because that helps everybody. So be conscious of that. So if you guys want to stay on after we do our belief, write down our belief people that we're going to reach out to for the next 5 minutes, we'll be here for some Q&A. But I will set a timer for 5 minutes and I'll chat with y'all after that. Okay, so I had somebody send me a direct message and ask, if you don't have any business builders or workers, what are examples of belief messages to send to people that to encourage them to maybe start sharing? So what I would do with those people is I would ask them to make a shout out post for me. And I would say, hey, Amy, thank you so much for your order this month. As you know, so much of my business is built on referrals. And I truly appreciate all of the referrals that I get. If I type up a quick message for you or a quick post for you, would you be willing to make a post on your Facebook page and tag me in it? It would be super helpful. Any referrals that I get from that, I can go ahead and plug them into your referral website so that you earn some bonuses towards free products. So I am going to put that in the chat, just kind of a sample message to send to those people who are like your customers that are not necessarily business builders, so that you guys can have that on hand too. is I just put a sample shout out post. So they're just going to type something up like, over the last couple months, I've been taking this awesome probiotic from my friend Tammy. This is where they're going to tag you. It has helped me sleep better and has helped me get my bloating down too. I know she has a few coupons available if anyone's interested. And for the coupon, you can add your own, or you can use the SAM 2020 code. That is still working. It's just all caps SAM 2020, and it's going to give them 10% off. So you can use that code for any new customer or new ambassador, as long as their email hasn't been in the system before and they haven't placed an order before. So those are going to be a couple things that you can definitely use. And then anybody who likes or comments on their post, have them add them in a 3-way chat with you. Like, hey, thanks so much for liking my post. This is my friend Tammy. She's going to tell you a little bit more about the probiotic that I'm taking. And so when they're adding you into a 3-way chat, I always say my friend Tammy versus my sponsor Tammy, because it sounds a little less intimidating. And then when you get into that chat with them, I always start it off with, hey, I'm so excited to meet you. What are your health goals? So I don't go into a spiel about our ProBio 5. I'm going to ask them what their health goals are. And most of the time from there, I can actually get them on a welcome kit because the pricing is awesome with the welcome kits. And I can talk to them about why this specific welcome kit is going to be perfect for them. And then fall back on, if they're like, oh, that's just too expensive. No problem. We can get you started on just the ProBio 5 and get you a welcome kit in the future when you have a little bit more funds to put towards that. So that is how I usually do those shout out posts. And I love 3-way chats. I do them with my team all the time. I truly think that that's what helped me get to Emerald. I think the month I went Emerald, we did over 1,000 3-way chats. So they really are the way to go and help people out so much. So I'm going to open it up. If anybody has any questions, I would be happy to answer them. It doesn't necessarily have to be about what we've covered on this call. It could be anything that you want to pick my brain on, and I would be happy to answer them. But for those of you guys that have to hop off, thank you so much for being on here. Save this link, save the meeting ID and the passcode, because we do this every single Wednesday at 10 a.m. So every Wednesday at 10 a.m., we usually have a jewel or a diamond that hops on and they motivate you guys. And it's really cool for me to see how different jewels and how different diamonds work their businesses and what's working for different people, because it just shows how different we all are. And you don't have to work your business just like one person in order to be successful. You can work your business your way once you find your flow of how to do things. So super excited to share these calls with you guys. So feel free to unmute yourselves if you guys have a question. If you need to hop off, no worries. You can hop off, and we love you guys so much. So thank you all for being here. Okay, so I got a question. I always struggle with verbiage, but I'm getting there. Yes, I can definitely understand that. I think when it comes to verbiage, there are things that I said 5 years ago and 6 years ago in messages that I cringe when I read them, or posts that I made that I cringe when I read them. But the beauty of that is that means I've grown. If you're not cringing at messages that you sent 2 years ago or a year ago, then you haven't grown in the way that you're reaching out to people. So it's okay. It's okay to fail forward, and you're going to kind of find your groove and what works for you and what doesn't work for you. All right. Any other questions? I'd love to know how you inspire, push, build, and hold your team accountable. Okay, I love this question because number one, I want all of you guys to repeat this after me, okay? Say, I am not responsible for my team's success. Okay, so just take that weight off of your shoulders because you're not responsible for their success. You are responsible for giving people the tools when they're first getting started. But I also want to add, like, when I first started this business, we had nothing that you guys have. We had a YouTube video of the sweet Sonia Dudley explaining the compensation plan with a chalkboard behind her or a whiteboard behind her. And it was so cool. So we didn't have all of the resources that are in the back office. There really is zero excuses for somebody who wants to work this business to say, I don't know how to do it. My upline didn't help me. Even if you completely drop the ball, you guys, it's not your responsibility to make somebody successful. With that being said, I do want you guys to make sure that when you enroll somebody, you're offering the tools that are available, you're plugging them in with other people. So picture it as there's a fire, okay? And when there's that fire, what do you think is easier? Is it easier to build the fire by bringing other people or other pieces of wood, logs to the fire? Or is it easier to build multiple fires to keep people warm and to maintain those fires? For me, the answer is building one fire and fueling that fire by bringing more logs into that fire. And so you want to bring your people where the fire is. If that's a team chat that's like really on fire for you, if that's your upline's team page and it's not your own team page, if it's these calls, if it's another call that somebody else is doing, bring people where there's already fire and excitement rather than you trying to recreate your own, because you're going to spin your wheels and you're going to get exhausted. And then the other thing is the best way to motivate a team that is no longer working is by enrolling a new team. If you are enrolling new people and suddenly those people are growing and those people are going silver, your other people are going to be like, hold up, what is going on? Where is this excitement coming from? Why are all these people going silver? Who is that person that just went gold? And they're going to be curious. And if they're not, let them go. Those aren't the people that are going to grow with you. I actually have, I'm doing a little study group right now with Genevieve, who's absolutely amazing. If you guys don't know who she is, but she talked about how, 80% of our people are going to be people we communicate with in a group setting. And then 20% of our people, or it could be even 10% for you, are going to be people who you communicate with one-on-one. So your 80%, those are going to be the people who they join maybe for the business, maybe go silver, they might go gold. And they just like being a part of the community. They like the fun. They like making a post here and there, but they're not going to be the people that are going to go diamond on your team. They just are here to kind of like do minimal work and grow minimally. We still love those people. We still care about those people. 80% of my business is those people. It's not all runners and people who are going to go far. So with those people, I have them in a group chat. They're constantly engaging with one another. They're cheering each other on. A lot of praise. You guys can create momentum out of thin air by praising people for everything. Praise what you want to see more of. If they're hopping on a call, praise them. If they took their products consistently, praise them. If they are ordering 2 months in a row as a brand new wholesale ambassador, praise them. Whatever it is that you want to see more of in your business, shout it out when people are doing those things. And so literally 1 month, we had enrolled like maybe 10 people, which for us isn't very high numbers for my team. And I remember being like, we need to do something because we have no enrollments. And it was the last 4 days of the month. And I remember just shouting people out for like making a post and literally every move that they made. And all of a sudden my team was like, where's this momentum coming from? Like, this is so exciting. People are growing, like our team's on fire. And I was like, yeah, we're on fire. Like we've enrolled 10 people. But by the end of the month, we enrolled over 40 people. You guys can create that momentum out of nowhere just by shouting people out. So love all of that. Did that help answer your question? So shouting people out, bringing people where the fire is. And as hard as it is, especially if you're a nurturing personality, letting go of the people who are just not going to do the work. Like love on them, but don't drag them along. You're not going to be able to run the race and you're not going to be able to help other people run the race if you're dragging other people behind you. Just keep running. And if they're your people and they're the people who are going to run this business, they're going to catch up because they're going to want to be where the winners are. They're going to want to be a part of that race. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Definitely be on more of these. Yeah, I love that. I have some stuck messages. Can you explain the stuck messages?
Hi there. Thank you so much for doing this. It really means a lot to me. So this one woman in particular, she keeps saying she wants to sign up. And I mean, I've reached out to her now. Gosh, just in the month of September alone, I've reached out to her via messenger, but also when she posts like her stories on Facebook, because she has a bakery as well. She runs like a private bakery. And even on there, like I had commented on one of her stories and then I commented on one of her posts. And even there, she's like, I need to call you. I need to get signed up. And then every time I reach out to her, she like goes MIA. And so I reached out to her on Sunday was the last time I reached out to her. And I said, I addressed her by her name. I was like, hey, I hope you had a good week. Just reaching out again. I know Sundays are one of your less busy days. Right now, until Thursday, you can get either one of the packs that we discussed and I gave like the discounted price. Plus, you get a free bag of my favorite energy drink, which I know you were super excited about when we talked about it on the phone. I would hate for you to miss out on this free product and this sale. Let's get that order placed for you. When are you free? And then I put screenshots of the 2 packs we talked about, and I've heard crickets.
But is she looking at the messages? Like, can you tell if she's reading them?
No, the last message she read was the voice message I sent her on September 21st.
Okay. So I would, on one of her posts that she makes, just like, hey girl, my messenger has been super crazy lately. I just want to make sure you're getting my messages. So you're kind of calling her out in a gentle way to where she's like, okay, let me get in my messages. But say it was somebody that has seen your messages, because I know there's several of us that probably have that same issue happen all the time. I use what is called the takeaway method. And in the takeaway method, you're taking the opportunity from them. So instead of being like, hey, is it time yet? Are you like ready to do this? What you're basically saying is like, hey, I totally realize this is not the right time for you. So I'm going to go ahead and remove you from my list so that I don't keep bothering you about this. I'm like, no, wait. Like, don't remove me from anything, because people don't like it when an opportunity is taken away from them. And then also saying things like, hey, it sounds like you're not the best fit for this right now. So let's just go ahead and take it off the table. When you're ready for this, come back to me. And people don't like hearing that they're not a fit for something. But you never want to come across desperate. And I've done that all the time, especially the last couple of days of the month when I'm trying to hit a goal and I come across super desperate, And so you never want to come across desperate to people. And the best way to do that is by taking the opportunity away from them and putting it back in their court of like, hey, I realize like this isn't the right time. So let's recap, because I want to make sure that I'm investing my time in the people who want this right now. And if that's not you, that's cool.
Or you just go knock on their door repeatedly and tell them that you're going to be eating Lunchables and Beanie Weenies until they sign up. That really works too.
So I literally like, if it's people that I know well and it's like good friends of mine, I always bring humor to it. Like, okay, so I guess you're going to make me fly to Seattle and knock on your door and shove these probiotics in your face, like be funny about it and don't necessarily act so like, okay, I have to get this. I have to hit this deadline before the end of the month or whatever it is. But taking that opportunity away from them really, really helps. Just love that. I have 4 that keep saying they are joining. I need to do that. Yeah, literally just, hey, you know what? It sounds like this isn't the right time for you. I'm just going to take you off my list so that I can really spend my time connecting with the people who are ready right now. Takes that.
Can you share that? Somebody else had asked that too. Can you share that verbiage in the chat?
Yes. Let me type it up real quick. If anybody else wants to ask a question while I type that up, I can do that too.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
And you do these power hours just once a week, is that right? Because I'm going to add it to my calendar. All right. Thank you.
And while she's typing, if any of you guys would like to lead one, we're open. We're going to start scheduling our October, November, December. And so, or if you want to get your uplines to lead one for us, tell them to get in contact with us. That would be awesome. We like to try to get different perspectives and get everybody's opinions and stuff on it. So, yeah, just tell them to reach out to the bearded guy.
Yes. All right. Anybody else have any questions before we hop off? I did send that. So if you guys want to save it before we disconnect, and of course you can kind of tweak that from person to person.
I have one quick question. It's not really business related, but where did you get your hat?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. This is actually one of our PinkLife hats. So for those of you guys that are on from different teams, we are co-owners with each other of PinkLife Swag.